I'm still laughing, and so it's just not working out.
Great start.
This has been the whole trip already. I'm like the immature one, and he keeps it.
I thought you were going to laugh about the birds that started chirping, but instead it was just you, so.
All right, for reals now.
My name's Alex Sherman. I'm class of 2013. I use she, her pronouns, and we are in Cleveland, Ohio. Just in the past couple months, I started fostering cats. So my first foster, she was like 5 years old. She just got adopted out like last week. Now I'm fostering 2 kittens, and they are very precious.
Nice. How did you get involved with fostering cats?
Well, it's kind of sad, but my first cat, I had her for 2 years and she passed away this past spring. So I really missed having a cat in the house, so kind of got some short-term cat options. So I am a speech-language pathologist. What that means is I work with children. So I work with kids from like birth to age 18 with developmenal disabilities. So many of the students I work with have autism or Down syndrome or learning disabilities, language disorders, kind of all along the spectrums of abilities. And I kind of ended up here because I wanted a career where I could really get to know people and work with them over a long period of time and get to like watch them change and watch them grow and kind of help them along that path. So I kind of thought about being a doctor when I first started at Williams, but that didn't really seem like it'd be like the right fit. So then I thought about physical therapy, and I spent a winter study shadowing in physical therapy. And during that same month, I spent one day with the speech therapist and like discovered how rich the field is in cognition and language, and just all these things that appealed to me as a psychology major, and getting to see the same kids week after week and get to know them. So that is how I ended up here.
Nice. That's a lot of intense work from what I've heard from some of my friends who do similar work. And so thank you for all of your time and effort and sharing that. It is a very interesting career choice, and I think super impactful for children, particularly as you can see a lot of that growth over time, which is a big point that you're referencing. And there's no like really similar cases, which I think is really fascinating part about that. Because as you know from psychology, all of the children develop differently and end up with different learning differences, which causes lots of different ways of thinking and learning. Mm-hmm. So thank you, it's super cool work.
Probably, let's see. Well, something I've been doing probably since I moved to Cleveland, so about 4 years ago, is I go to trivia with some of my friends almost every week. So that's fun. Like we kind of finally got like a place that we like, and where we know the bartenders and like they know us, and it's just like a really nice little community, and I like that part of it a lot.
Nice. I myself, and someone who participates in trivia pretty regularly at the Log, actually, they now have weekly trivia, and there was, during the pandemic, a run where my team was like kind of hated by everyone else. We were just like, they keep winning, we don't like this anymore. We were just like, well, learn more things, I don't know what to tell you. So I definitely feel trivia as a community experience, and that can be really fun and really build a sense of community amongst your friends and engage with other folks. Hopefully you haven't reached that level of notoriety amongst your friends.
It's come close. It's come close. Sometimes we get a hot streak. Yeah. I think one thing that I really internalized from Williams was the importance of listening to others and understanding where they're coming from and their viewpoint, and kind of two experiences really informed that. And one was story time, where once a week, Sunday night, someone shares a story from their life, and you kind of get lots of context about where they came from and what's made them who they are. And then the other part of that was my semester at Williams Mystic. A huge part of Mystic is traveling and talking to people on the ground and hearing their perspectives. So hearing, straight from the fishermen and straight from the conservationists and kind of all along the spectrum, and getting to hear all the sides and formulate your own ideas.
Nice, that's awesome. And I bet a lot of those experiences translate very closely to your work. I mean, being able to listen and understand how to engage with children is it's no small task. And so I think those are both wonderful experiences that I know are both spoken of very highly. Storytime being a thing that still continues. William Mystic, I know a bunch of alums who talk about how it was a life-changing experience. So I'm glad you really got to dive right into both of those.
Something that brings me joy here in Cleveland, in this community, is like being on the lake. So like just being so close to water. I guess water just always kind of reminds me of like my Williams Mystic days, and it's such an important part. So I love, we have these beautiful parks where you can watch the sunset over the lake, and it's so beautiful.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. That's really cool. I'm going to end up living out in the mountains after this job ends, so I'll be in Colorado. So I very much feel for the natural environment being a really big part of identity and what brings you joy.
I could write a thank you note to anyone. I think I would write a thank you note to some of my friends from Williams, kind of starting with my entry mates, who kind of accepted this girl from small town Ohio and shared their lives and their experiences with her, and became friends and really shaped my perspectives and how I see the world today.
I'm really hoping that some of your entry mates do watch this, because that is beautiful, and really speaks to a lot of that community building and relationship development that you are sort of extending into your work as well. So that's really important, and I myself am still very close to a bunch of my entry mates, so I definitely feel that, because it is hard coming into that new space, and having those friends really can help make that adjustment way easier. So thank you so much for all the time you've given us so far. It's been a real pleasure chatting with you. Any final thoughts or anything you want to share with anyone who's going to watch this?
Oh God. No, I'm just so glad you came to Cleveland. With no one ever comes to Ohio, very underrepresented everywhere, so we are glad to have you.
It's really our pleasure. It's been fun so far, and we're excited to go visit the Happy Dog after this. Yeah. So it should be really nice. And thank you so much for welcoming us to your home, sharing your story. It's been quite lovely chatting with you. Yep, there was a string of bells that interrupted one of our interviews twice. In the middle of their response, in the middle of me trying to ask another question, just not happening.